Hi, welcome to my Stabathon vlog. I am hopping on here to let you know what my TBR is for this week. It's actually currently the middle of the week right now. I haven't been able to film very well for vlogs yet, but here I am. So the prompts are Ghostface, read a villain POV, Sydney Prescott, a final girl trope or slasher, Dewey and Gale, a book with a romantic subplot, Jill Roberts, a YA thriller or retelling, and Tara Carpenter, female relationships. So for my first read, I read Burn Down, Rise Up. And I counted this for 2 prompts. So I did this for the Tara Carpenter prompt because it was female relationships and there is a sapphic relationship in this. And then also Dewey and Gale because there was a romantic subplot. So I want to talk about my kind of wrap up on this one in a second, but I do want to share the rest of my TBR. So for Ghostface, a villain POV, I chose The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torre. And I've been hearing about this book for a really long time and been wanting to get to it, but this is a perfect time for me to get to it during this week. And it's basically about this female serial killer, and she hasn't left her apartment in years, and she works as a cam girl. And this one sounds so interesting. It says, "My life is simple as long as I follow the rules. Don't leave the apartment, never let anyone in, don't kill anyone. I've obeyed these rules for 3 years, but rules were meant to be broken." So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then for the slasher trope, I am going to be trying to read The Final Women by Pardeep Ajla, and this was kindly sent to me by the author. I really love this cover. I love how if you look in the knife, you can see people in it. And then also the back is really pretty too. It's like this really nice tree. I forgot to say that also Burn Down, Rise Up works for a YA or a retelling. This is a YA book. So that is the Jill Roberts prompt. So I actually just completed 3 prompts by finishing this. I was originally hoping to read The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson for the retelling and YA prompt, but just because we're so close to the end of the week, I mean, we're still kind of in the middle, but we're closer to the end of the readathon, I decided I'm gonna put this off a little bit longer. So I wanna tell you my thoughts on this one. So what this one is about is it's about this main character, and she lives in the Bronx, and basically her mom has this mysterious illness that she's come down with, and she's in quarantine in the hospital, and it's really scary. She can't visit her. And also there have been teens disappearing in the city for the past year, and this girl's kind of ex-best friend, her cousin, disappears. And so they start to think that the instances of the cousin disappearing and also the main character's mom being sick may be connected, and they realize that it is all part of this thing called the Echo Game. And this game is rumored to trap people underneath the city, kind of in this alternate dimension. And so this one has some Stranger Things vibes. That's how it was marketed, and so I was really interested in it. And I will say that there are Stranger Things vibes in this, but it takes kind of almost to the very end of the book to really get there. I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars because I did enjoy it and I read it really fast. It kept my attention the whole time. But when I read YA, generally I tend to gravitate more towards YA that reads just a little bit older, and this one definitely felt a little bit younger just in the narration style and the story. And also I just wanted a little bit more Stranger Things in it because when I got those scenes that gave me those vibes, I was really enjoying them, but I just felt like there weren't quite enough. And it wasn't like it was completely copying Stranger Things at all or anything like that. It just had those similar vibes and I just wanted more of them. I will say it was so interesting learning about the history of the Bronx that is very prevalent in this book, and I found that really interesting. I forgot to mention I'm also reading this for Blackoween for Queer Rep. So I feel like I accomplished a lot of prompts with this book. I would recommend this if you like kind of visual horror, so a lot of cool imagery, which I really enjoyed, a fast-paced read, and if you don't mind something that reads just a little bit younger. I feel like I just wasn't fully the target audience for this book. I would recommend this towards maybe younger teenagers. So next up, I'm starting The Girl in 6E, so I hope I really like it. I am a little nervous that I won't be able to complete all the prompts, but we'll see. I'm hoping that I really fall into this one very easily because I've been wanting to read it for so long and the concept is really interesting. I just don't have an audiobook for it, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to use an audiobook credit for this or if I don't. I struggle with deciding what I want to spend money on for audiobooks on Audible because I do have a subscription to Audible, but then I have a Scribd and I also have access to Libby and Cloud Library. But I didn't see this on Scribd, Libby, or Cloud Library as an audiobook, so it may just be on Audible. So I'm trying to decide if I want to get it on Audible or if I want to wait. It's a difficult decision. I have one more credit, so we'll see. I'll update you all. Also, I wanted to say that some of my favorite times to read books are when I'm walking around my neighborhood at night. There's this really nice neighborhood I walk around in the nighttime, and it's so nice to take a walk. The weather is so nice. It's 50 degrees, and it just feels so fall. And so I was taking a walk, and I was listening to the end of Burn Down, Rise Up, and it was just such a fun time to do that. Hey, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a reading update. So I have been reading The Girl in 6E. I don't have the cover on it right now, but I started it last night and I couldn't stop reading because I was so intrigued in the plot. I pretty much just woke up today. I woke up pretty late because I was up till like 4 last night. I don't know why, I just couldn't sleep very well. But anyway, I've just woken up today and I wanted to hop on here before I keep reading because I really want to start reading this again because it's really good. But basically the chapters in this one are super short, so it's super easy to binge it. And the perspective changes, so you get a perspective from this child predator, I believe. That's how they appear so far. And it's really intense because you're getting it from his point of view. And also you're getting the point of view from the main character. And so it changes POV, which is something I really enjoy in books. And I think it makes books really fast paced if it's done really well. So yeah, the tension is there and I'm enjoying it so far. It is such a unique premise. I've never read anything like it and I really want to know what happens. In a minute, my husband and I are gonna go take a walk and hopefully see some fall leaves in a park nearby, so I'm excited for that. So I'm gonna have to change and get all ready for that and figure out what I need to wear outside because it's actually getting colder, which is exciting. So I'm doing that, and then I'm also babysitting my parents' cats this weekend. And so I kind of have a full weekend. I have a lot of lives for Stabathon. We've already done a bunch of reading sprints this week, so it's been a really full week, but it's been fun, and that is my little update for today. Hello, so I'm currently sprinting on Erin's channel and I wanted to give you all kind of a life update. So I went and saw Smile earlier today and oh my gosh, this movie is so good. It was so much better than I expected and I just can't say enough good things about this movie. So basically I had been seeing a lot of previews for it and I kind of just assumed it would be like a normal run-of-the-mill sort of horror movie, nothing really special. It did look kind of creepy, but I feel like a lot of trailers make movies look really, really similar. And then I started seeing that a lot of people were rating it really high, and I really wanted to go with my friends. So we decided to go today, and the theater was pretty empty. We were in the back, and the opening sequence was so shocking. I was actually watching it like behind my hands, basically like this, and I haven't done that in a long time from a horror movie. I was watching everything, but I needed like the protection of hiding behind my hand. And so the opening scene set the tone so well for the movie. I feel like it just went there and was really shocking. And the rest of the movie had some amazing jump scares. They were done in a really effective way. Sometimes jump scares can be really dumb or just overdone, but the jump scares in this movie were so good. And the acting was incredible, and the ending was terrifying. And actually there were terrifying scenes throughout the movie, and there was always something happening. There wasn't ever like a lull in the movie. So I highly recommend trying to go see Smile when you can in the theaters, because it was such an amazing experience. And all of us were so freaked out after the movie. We were just looking at each other like, wow, we all just saw that. And I feel like it's one of the scariest movies I've seen in a really, really long time. So highly recommend that. I'm also house sitting, and the kitties are so cute. Look how sweet. Aw. Here, look at the camera. And here's the other cat. They're siblings. Say hello. Say hello. Big stretch. We are walking in the maze, and there's literally no like objective in this maze, so we're just wandering. And they were like, yeah, it can take up to an hour, so we'll see what happens. Hello, so I just finished The Woman in 6E. I was actually sprinting on Michelle's channel from Michelle's library. We were doing Halloween sprints, but I was doubling up on this prompt because it is the last day of Stabathon. So this is for the Ghostface prompt for reading a book from a villain's POV. And then I also counted it as reading a book in my favorite subgenre for the Halloween readathon. But anyway, I wanted to let you know about my reading experience for this one, and I really, really enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars because it was such a fast read. Oh my gosh, the chapters were so short. I flew through it and it held my attention the whole time. It honestly felt like a pretty short book, and sometimes that's what you need in a book, to just be able to fly through something. And I ended up, when I was reading it, deciding to get the audiobook just because I wanted to read it even faster so I could finish this prompt. And I really enjoyed the audiobook. It was really good. I was really engaged throughout. I thought the whole cam girl aspect was really interesting to read about. The main character was super interesting. She lived such an interesting life where she was trying not to hurt people, and she had these tendencies to want to kill, so she locked herself up to kind of stop those urges, but she still had to make money. And then also there is this delivery man who has been coming to her door delivering packages for the past couple years, and he's been really infatuated and intrigued by her because he doesn't know anything about her. He just knows her voice basically through the door, and she's like, just leave the package out there. So that was really interesting to read about. And then of course, when this girl goes missing and she decides to leave her apartment, I was really hooked and the tension was really, really high. I will say I didn't give it a full 5 stars because I thought it could have gotten way more intense than it did. It felt a little bit rushed towards the end. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this one. I would highly recommend it. And it is a series, so I definitely do want to continue on in the series. So I posted my wrap up for Stabathon on my phone. I'm trying to find it right now, but I wanted to share the prompts I completed. So I basically completed everything. Not sure how to do this very well. I'm not sure if it's gonna focus, but I completed all the prompts but one. So I completed Ghostface, Dewey and Gale, Jill Roberts, and Tara Carpenter. And for Dewey and Gale, Jill Roberts, and Tara Carpenter, I read Burn Down, Rise Up by Vincent Toredo. And then for Ghostface, I read The Girl in 6E. I am kind of bummed that I didn't do all the prompts, but I had such a busy week. It was just sort of unexpectedly busy. I feel like that happens, honestly, a lot of times with readathons. So October also, oh my gosh, this just started playing, this duck, by the way. I'm obsessed with this duck page. It's called Duck Official. Sorry to be interrupted by that. Anyway, I love that duck page on Instagram. It's so cute. But I'm bummed I didn't read the slasher prompt, but I am proud of myself that I was pretty much able to complete all the prompts for this readathon. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I had a great time this week, and I will be talking to you all very soon. Bye.